Simon and Andrew were casting a net into the sea. They were fishermen, and that's what fishermen do. Day after day, it was the same thing, the same sea, the same net, the same boat. Day after day after day, it was wind, water, fish, sore muscles, tired bodies. They probably grew up watching their father and grandfather fishing, watching their future life, watching how they too would spend their time. Cast the net, pull it in. Cast the net, pull it in. If you are not casting the net, well, then you're sitting in the boat mending the net. That's what James and John were doing. Casting and mending, casting and mending. You know about those days, don't you? We may not fish for a living, but we know about casting and mending nets. Days that all seem the same. One looks just like another. Life as routine, lived on autopilot. Nothing changes. Honestly, we don't expect much to change, much to even happen. This is our life. We cast the nets, we mend the nets. Casting and mending to make a living, to feed our family, to pay the bills. Casting and mending to gain security, to get to retirement. Casting and mending to hold our family together, to make our marriage work, to educate our children, to help them grow up. Casting and mending to gain the things we want, a house, a car, books, clothing, a vacation. Casting and mending to earn a reputation, gain approval, establish status. Casting and mending our way through another day of loneliness, sadness, or illness. Casting and mending are realities of life. They are also the circumstances in which Jesus comes to us. The context in which we hear the call to new life, the place where we are changed, and the ordinary casting and mending becomes extraordinary. These would-be disciples, Simon and Andrew, James and John, are not looking for Jesus. They're too busy with the nets. Another day of casting and mending. I imagine that they may not have even noticed Jesus. But he not only sees them, he speaks to them. Jesus has a way of showing up in the ordinary places of life and interrupting the daily routines of casting and mending nets. That's what he did to the lives of Simon and Andrew, James and John. That's what he does to your life and to mine. Those words, "Follow me," are Jesus' invitation to new life. If these four fishermen accept the invitation, their lives will forever be different. They will be different. No longer will they catch just fish. No, we are told they will fish for people. Now, when Jesus says, "I will make you fish for people," He is actually describing the transformation of their lives, not simply a job catching new members or followers. He could just as easily have said to the carpenters, "Follow me, and you will help build the kingdom of heaven." To farmers, "Follow me, and you will grow people." To doctors and nurses, "Follow me, and you will heal the brokenness of the world." To teachers, "Follow me, and you will open minds and hearts to the presence of God." To parents, "Follow me, and you will nurture new life." Whatever your life is, however you spend your time, there is in that life, that very life, Jesus' call to follow me. Those words are the call to participate with God in God's own saving work, the work of change and growth. And that work is always about moving to a larger vision, orienting our life in a new direction, and experiencing our little story of life connected to and a part of a much larger story, the story of God's life. As Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon, Andrew, James, and John. He called them. Mark records no discussions, no questions, no goodbyes. No, he tells us that they simply left and followed him. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm afraid that if Mark were writing about me, when he gets to the part when Jesus says, "Follow me," Mark would write, "And immediately what followed were questions. Where are we going? What will we be doing? How long will we be gone? What do I need to take? What do I need to pack? Where will we be staying? You do know I don't share a bedroom with anybody else. No roommates other than my wife." But that conversation doesn't take place in this morning's gospel. Jesus does not offer a map, an itinerary, a destination. No, only an invitation. For this is not the type of journey that you can prepare for. This is the inner journey, a journey into the deepest part of our being, the place where God resides. And so it's not about planning and organizing, making lists, packing supplies. It's not that easy. If anything, this journey is about leaving things behind. Listen to what Mark says. "Immediately they left their nets and followed him. They left their father Zebedee in the boat and followed him." So the invitation, "Follow me," is also the invitation to leave behind. To leave behind our nets, our boats, even our fathers. And that is the hard part for most of us. You and me were pretty good at accumulating and clinging, not so good at letting go. Yet, more often than not, our spiritual growth involves some kind of letting go. We never get anywhere new as long as we are unwilling to leave where we are. We accept Jesus' invitation to follow, not by packing up, but by letting go. So, what are the nets then that entangle us? What are the little boats that contain our lives? Who are the fathers from whom we seek identity, value, approval? What do we need to let go of and leave behind so that we might follow Jesus? Please don't think that this is simply about changing careers or disowning our families or moving to a new town. It is about the freedom, though, to be fully human, and in so being, discovering God's divinity within us. We let go so that our life might be reoriented, so that we can now travel in new directions, so that we might be open to receive the life of God anew. When we do let go, everything is transformed, including our nets, our boats, even our fathers. And that's why Jesus could tell them that they would still be fishermen, but now they would fish for people. They wouldn't become something they weren't already, but they would be changed. They would more authentically be who they already were. You see, ultimately, it's about letting go of our own little life so that we can receive God's life. Now, this might seem counterintuitive, might seem awfully odd, but this letting go happens in the context of our everyday activities: work, school, families, paying the bills, running errands, fixing dinner, relationships, trying to figure out how to do the right thing. It happens in the casting and mending of our nets. These are the times and places in which Jesus shows up and calls us into a new way of being, and our world changes. It happened for Simon, Andrew, James, and John. It can happen for you and for me.